Alright guys, welcome to the Old Glory Red Report, a supporter channel for the supporters, by the supporters. This is Mark Anthony, I'm Casey J. Today we're going to be talking about the Colorado game at the weekend. We did get another 3 points on the road, big game for us. We're going to roll into that in just a second.
Let's go! Sacramento!
Alright guys, as I said, it was a great 1-0 victory. We did grind out a game like we kind of saw at the start of the season. This is the first time since the start of the season we've gotten back-to-back wins, 2 wins on the road. You know, what was your impression? What's the overview of this game for you?
Taking care of business.
Yeah.
You go on the road. We had 2 games. I know we're talking about Colorado, but with the previous match, 2-game road stand last week, you get 6 points out of it.
Amazing 6 points.
All I can say is that's great. That's better than I thought we were going to do, honestly, because we were coming off a little bit of a rough patch. The boys responded well. So I thought it was a great overall performance for the week. And in this game, I thought the boys did well in not allowing a goal, not allowing Colorado to get into the game. So
yeah, that's definitely something that I saw too. The defense did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, on that defensive mind, though, to me it was the press. Were you impressed by that press? I mean, we were really playing high. We were pressing Colorado the whole time. We dominated the game. We had possession in our favor. We held the ball. We even had some pretty good crosses and stuff coming in from Klimenta. Villarreal, of course, had one really good cross that led to the goal from the header by Bijev. You know, so I think that press was very key for us this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we knew going into the game that we probably were going to be the team of this matchup that was going to possess the ball more. I was very happy to see the guys get after Colorado. We probably could have scored a couple more goals and made it a cleaner win.
Probably should have.
You're on the road. You're in altitude. It's your second road game of the week. You come in, and I thought the guys did great into not letting Colorado get into the game at all. I mean, I don't remember any stretches of the game where I saw Colorado like growing into it or creating a ton of chances. So,
I think they had 6 shots, 2 on target, so they never really had that opportunity, like you said.
Yeah, they had 6 shots. We had 60% possession. I mean, we dominated in corner kicks, 10-3. I mean, all around the stat line you look, we dominated.
Yeah, you know, we had passing possession was like 83% for the Republic, so they had really good stats. The one thing, and you kind of pointed out a little bit, that still is kind of on my mind is not finishing some of these chances. Bijev had a few chances. Iwasa had a few chances. And we're just not converting them. Now, we can't give Iwasa too much stick. You know, 9 goals and 4 assists. He's our leading scorer. We'll give him a break when he chalks up a few. But Bijev and a couple of the other guys, especially like Isley, has got to really start putting some numbers on the board for me. I mean, I think that's something that still is pestering the team, is not getting those goals to go in. We did get the one from Bijev, though, so let's be happy for that.
Yeah, and you know, it was nice to get the goal from Bijev. Not only Bijev scoring the goal, but we got a goal from a set piece, which is, I think that's only our second one this year. I mean, when we score on a set piece, like, I don't know, like something's going right, you know?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It was nice to see us score with Bijev getting on the scoreline because he had been so cold lately. Villarreal played a great ball in there, just a nice glancing header. He set up Bijev really nice. So that's also 2 games in a row where we've gotten goals off of headers, which is a nice thing to see because almost every single goal we had scored this year had been like on a breakaway or a through ball or on the ground. But it's nice to see a little mix in our attack, scoring goals in a variety of ways.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, what did you think of the guys, besides missing some chances that we probably should have had? What was your overall impression of us when we had the ball?
I think really good possession, really good passing, a lot of forward passing. We didn't see a lot of negative movement, which is something we've seen a little too much in the latter games, was passing back to Cohen, passing back deep. Tainter looks good coming up and playing that ball out the back and playing the ball wisely out the back. Klimenta has definitely added the ability to spray that ball across coming out the right. Gomez always has the pace to get up. I've mentioned it before, I would like to see a little bit more from him. But we've seen a lot more from that back line as far as holding the ball, moving the ball forward positively, and I think that was a great takeaway from this game.
Yeah, and another thing that I saw is that when we were losing possession, we were higher up the field.
Yeah.
In the Swope game, we had a couple mishaps where we had lost the ball in some dangerous positions. maybe Swope didn't take advantage of those as well as I don't think we took advantage of their mistakes.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
But in this game particularly, it looked like when we were losing the ball, it was in the attacking third, or at least on their side of the field. So you don't mind taking risks there, taking chances,
No.
playing a through ball, maybe it gets cut out, but hey, you're 30 yards from their goal instead of 30 yards from your goal. You know?
And the press helps with that because you can make that mistake and you're already up high playing that press. And like you said, it kind of gives that freedom. So definitely, I was glad to see that press lead to those kind of chances.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think of the back line? I mean, pretty clean game from them, right?
Yeah, I think, it was impressive. The last 2 games, they've only won in. We've got a couple of good wins. It didn't make me nervy in this game. When we were 1-up most of the game, I wasn't feeling like, hey, they're going to Reno us here again and just come back and take the win from us. It never felt that. So I think we're getting a little more confident. Klimenta coming back in may have solidized the line a little bit. I think Schmidt and Tainer have done really well as a center back pairing as well. I don't think either one of them did too much wrong in the Colorado game. So I'm very impressed to see the way that the back line is kind of maturing, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah, and it was nice because we know that Colorado is a team that doesn't score very many goals. So to get a 1-0 lead in a game that's really 2 of the better defending teams in the league, you get the goal. It makes the game a lot easier because Colorado's hard to break down. They haven't given up too many goals on the other end. So you get the goal, you kind of put the onus on them like, all right, now come at us,
Yeah.
And I thought the guys, not only did we score and get up on them to make the game tougher on Colorado, but we maintained that high press. We maintained that high pressure in the middle of the field. So, like we spoke about, they didn't have too many opportunities where guys are finding themselves free in the middle of the field or getting behind on through balls. So a very clean performance from the defenders. That's 2 out of 3 of our last games. We've maintained a shutout. And, 1 goal given up in 3 games.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great, yeah. Talking about the back line, that leads me to my man of the match. And this is someone that I don't think gets a lot of attention this season so far, but I'm going to give it to Tainer. Like I said before, I think he played really well out the back, possessing the ball and moving it forward, as well as he did keep, I think, their attacker's Malcolm, right? I think they kept
Shane Malcolm.
Shane Malcolm. I think he kept him very quiet the whole game. He didn't really have opportunities, and he's someone that we talked about on the pre-match that can give problems. And I think he made him very quiet the whole game. So I think for Tainer, this was one of his really big step up, and he had a lot of good forward movement in this one for me. So I chose him as my man of the match. Who'd you go with?
I think my man of the match is somebody who I thought played a really good game in the middle, and he played so well that we didn't hear about him too much, but he did get the assist. It's Villarreal.
Oh, yeah?
That's my man of the match. His assist, that was a great ball from a set piece. Bijev scored, but when you get a ball like that, it makes it so easy for the attacking player just to get a little flick on. It's one of those dangerous balls that's going straight to the goal, and the goalie he's in no man's land because he can't react until the ball is headed because it's coming at the goal. But then when the ball's headed, he's so close that it's hard for the keeper to react. So Villarreal, not only with the assist, but I thought he held down the middle of the pitch.
Definitely. He
cut out some balls. I saw him intercept a few passes. So I thought that he had a very tidy job in the middle of the field. So that's what I'm going with. Somebody that we haven't talked about too much this year, but he does have 4 assists quietly on the season. Tied for the team lead. So good game, Villarreal. That's my man of the match.
As Alexi Laws say, he doesn't play a sexy position, definitely. And so he gets overlooked, and I know he's got a lot of criticism this season, Villarreal has, because he's not playing that quote-unquote sexy position. But yeah, great game for him. I liked the position he was in, playing beside Moffitt in that holding position. He was able to dominate the midfield. He was part of that, coming out of the back and playing the ball well. Totally agree. Well deserved for him.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that our criticism, or not ours, but the criticism of our center mids is that we have basically 3 guys that are similar players. We have Hall, Moffitt, and Villarreal. They're all essentially a 6. They're a pivot player. They're guys that you want in there, cutting out passes, intercepting balls, and then playing those outlet balls. So they're not going to get a ton of assists. They're not going to get a ton of goals. They have a very thankless job. But, you take a look at the World Cup and you see a guy like Conte for France.
Yep.
And what kind of job that guy can do in the middle of the park. Just being everywhere all the time, cutting out passes, starting the attack, getting the ball forward to guys like Awasa, Bijev. So
getting back, doing the defensive work too on the other side of the ball, being that crucial role, the front of the defense, making sure you're giving support to your defense. It's a very key part of that position too. So
we finally saw Klimenta get a start. We had been talking about it. I predicted it 3 games ago.
Yeah,
he got the start. What did you think? What did you think of him? Being in the starting lineup. Starting the game, not coming into the game behind or closing it out, but getting a full game in.
I honestly think it was a great performance by him. It was the Klimenta we know. He came in, put some good balls into the box, played the ball very well, was key also coming out of the back. Like I kind of talked about, that was a highlight for me of this game, was the possession out the back, and he's another key player that can bring the ball up. He can also spray it forward to get a good pass in. We saw a couple times where he put the ball up to the front line, finding Isley and Iwasa up there. So, a very good game for him. I think, we can only get improvement from him, too, coming back when he gets comfortable in the position and the team he's playing in now.
Yeah, and he adds such another shade to this team. I mean, not just the work that he does defensively, he seems to always be positioned well. And, I mean, he's an MLS quality player, so you expect that from him. But he gives this team another dimension. He plays very high up the field. He swings on those crosses. We saw that beautiful assist that he had last game.
Yeah, for Iwasa,
He gives us another way to attack teams, something for opposing teams to keep an eye out for. And you know what? He is a threat on set pieces, whether he's taking them or he's in the box, because he can head the ball, but he can take corners,
he was
free
taking
kicks.
This game. He took a lot of the free kicks this game. Everything that came from a corner, pretty much, I think he was taking, right?
Yeah, he's just a breath of fresh air to the team, not just with his presence and his quality of play, but he brings another attacking dimension to the field. So It's great to see.
Yeah, it was great to see him back. It was great to get 3 points. Like you said, 6 points on the road. We'll take that. We're coming home. Who do we play next weekend?
We got
Oklahoma.
OKC.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
So giddy up.
So we're going to have that that pre-match coming out later on in the week, so make sure to check that out. We are going to have some events coming up to make sure you check out. We're going to have some raffles coming up. We will announce the raffle winner from the World Cup video in our next video later this week, so make sure you're there for that as well.
Yeah, I just want to say right now, Republic sitting in 3rd place. There's still teams right on our heels, but in a much better position than we were a week ago. I think we're in 6th place heading on the road. So a great week, breath of fresh air. We're coming home for 3 games in a row, 3 winnable games. I think this is the best time of the season for the guys to pick up the momentum, pick up 3 points at home. I look forward to talking about next game. Of course, subscribe if you like the content if you haven't yet. Let us know your thoughts of the game. Who was your man of the match? Who do you think played well that maybe goes a little underappreciated or we haven't mentioned today? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Definitely. Make sure you check us out on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. We will be coming out with a couple more videos, like I said, so check those out. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.